think it was Oliver Wendell Holmes who said, "A man never rises so high as when he knows not where he's going." The reason that's true, I think it's true, and it doesn't feel like it's true at the time, is because we stop depending so much on the intellect and we open ourselves intuitively to that greater intelligence that pushes through us. We can no longer, when we are confused, that means that we are not able to rely on the information that we consider true, that it's not working for us, it's not holding water for us. And so we're in a place where we don't know what to do, but what we're really saying is there's just a part of me that doesn't know what to do. The intellectual side doesn't know what to do. All of the facts that I have accumulated don't seem to add up, and they don't give me a way out. They don't give me a way through this whole thing, whatever this whole thing is. And I think that's what Holmes was talking about, that we get to a point where the intellect runs out of options, and that's where the intuition begins to open. I talked in one of my books about camping and sailing down at Lake Powell, and how at night I was using a flashlight there in Utah, and it is you don't need a flashlight in Utah at night, because I discovered that as I turned the flashlight off, that the whole universe appears. It's just like when you focus the flashlight, that's your world, that little circle, that little beam. And we look at whatever it is that's in that little circle and we say, I don't know what to do. There's nothing in this circle that tells me, that guides me, that shows me what I need to do. So what do? You turn off the flashlight. And you suddenly realize that you are in infinity. It's not a place you go. It's a place you always are. That's what we are. It's a pretty incredible, very simple, but pretty incredible revelation. And it's a little hard to appreciate this analogy in town with all the city lights and so on. I don't even bring my telescope out in town here in Grand Junction. We're not that big of a city, but we lived in Evergreen at 7,600 feet, and there was no light up there. So it was a wonderful place to have a telescope, but that universe that we live in is there all the time. But our eyes are so filled with earthly light, earthly questions, earthly this and that, self-image stuff, that we forget that, and we try to get more batteries, make our light brighter, and find our way better. And yeah, we can see further with good batteries and a strong flashlight, but you can't see near as far as when you turn it off. We don't even know how far we can see when we look up the night sky. We don't know how far that is. There's a lot of estimates and guesses and so on, but it's far enough. Everything we need is within that visual context. So this is what it's about, to be lost. What are we lost from? There are no options within that beam of light from our flashlight. So my life has fallen apart. Is that really true? We look at our life through the senses, through the eyes of the intellect, and we don't see any options. We don't see any directions we can go. So do I have any value? Is life worth living? We don't want to answer that question until we do a little experiment, and that is turn off the flashlight. Take time to be still and listen to the soul. Something has brought us to this point. And whatever that something is, and we know what it is, will carry us on. Truth itself has not changed. You've lost nothing. Just because you don't know what to do doesn't mean you've lost something. It simply means it's time to turn off the flashlight, readjust your vision, let your eyes adjust to that night sky. And that's also a good analogy. If you're using a bright light and you shut it off, all of a sudden you become blinded in a sense. So there's a period of time where you wait and your eyes adjust to the new conditions. That's really what meditation is. It's shutting off the flashlight of the intellect, not stopping all your thinking necessarily, but redirecting it. And there's an adjustment period. And in that adjustment period, your mind is still grasping for things within that beam of light, that intellectual beam of light. We're still looking for answers. We say, okay, I'll sit down and I'll be still. Okay, God, I'm ready. Give me the answer to this problem. But see, the stars are not on the ground, and they're not in that circle of light that just shut off. The universe is not there. I mean, it's there, but that's just a minuscule piece of it. And so we're waiting for that minuscule piece to assume some kind of order. And when it does, then we'll be peaceful. But when we shut off the light, what we discover is all there is peace. That which we feel we will achieve when we get everything in order, when we know exactly where we want to go, we will have peace. If you think about every single desire that you have, there's two things that are involved. It's the desire for peace and the desire for greater freedom. I don't care if you're asking for more money, a better job, soulmate, new car. Whatever it is, all the spiritual element to everything we want is peace and freedom. And so we get to the point in our life where we start asking ourselves, is peace and freedom ever absent? Are they ever gone? They may be gone in our circle of light, in our flashlight beam. And if they are, do we get new batteries, or do we try turning the light off and discovering that peace and freedom are actually the reality of this world in which we live and move and have our being? These are qualities of the universe. And we cannot be without them. We can shut off an awareness of them. We can conditionalize them. We can say, I can only be peaceful and free if this and this and this happens. And therefore, I don't have peace and freedom until this and this and this happens. Or we can start with the idea, start with the truth, that peace and freedom are the one reality, the two realities, whatever, the reality of this universe. I start there. I don't end up there. I start there. I turn off the flashlight and I gain my night vision. I gain my universal vision. I gain the assurance that everything is okay, that all is well. I don't regain faith, I regain understanding. That I can never lose what I deeply seek, peace and freedom.